All right, so the new machine update is finally here. We're going to go over some of the key features of this update, and you guys bear with me to the end of the video because I'm going to discuss a few things about this update that needs to be addressed. Bolo! All right, as you guys know, it's that time of year and you guys probably need to get some equipment. So if you guys want to get any of the native instrument stuff or anything for your studio, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link in the description and head over to zounds.com. Zounds has a whole bunch of stuff on the site, and they have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning you can order the product, they'll send it to you, and you can just make monthly installment payments on that product. All you just need is a credit or debit card hooked to the account, and that's pretty much it. So if you guys need to get anything for your studio, go ahead and click my link in the description and head over to zounds.com and get you some gear today. Now that you got your equipment, you need to protect your equipment, and the best place to get your equipment protected is by Analog Cases. Analog Cases has cases for just about everything in your studio, and they have a really dope case that fits the Maschine Mark III and the Maschine Plus. This case is dope. It is a hard shell case, and on the inside, it is full of foam protection that will keep your equipment safe. Also, this thing has pockets for your cords and cables as well. Now, if you want to get a case for your Maschine Mark III or your Maschine Plus, this is the case, but they actually have cases for other devices as well. So if you want to go check those out, make sure you guys go ahead and click my link in the description and get your gear protected today. All right, so a lot of you guys have been waiting for this update. I've definitely been waiting for this update, and I've been using this update for a while now. And what I can say is they did add a few things to it, which we're going to cover that today. And, I want to go ahead at the end of the video and basically explain some things that I wish would have been in this update. And hopefully there'll be some updates that they add in the future to this as well. So let's go through and check out some of the key features, and I'll see you guys towards the end of the video and discuss a few things. So let's go ahead and get to that. All right, so in the new Maschine 3, looks good, has this nice dark layout, and looks pretty cool. I actually like it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about upgrading this. You're gonna have to pay for it. There's no way around it. You're gonna have to pay for it. And it starts off at $29 if you already have the Maschine 2 software. Now, if you wanna go ahead and upgrade this with the Maschine 2 and the new Maschine Central software, it's gonna be $69 if you already have Maschine 2. So you can upgrade it from Maschine 2 to Maschine 3 with the Maschine Central software, and that will be $69. Or you can get the Maschine Central software for $49 by itself. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But if you don't have either, then the upgrade is going to be $99 for both. So that's how it works if you don't have the Maschine 2 software. So $99 for both of them that way. So what is Maschine Central? Basically, it is a new library of sounds that works with all of the stuff that you pretty much already have inside of the machine. Okay, so they have a whole bunch of presets, drums, everything, effects, all that stuff. So it's something that you can get if you do not have enough sounds with your machine already. But if you have enough sounds, me personally, I don't know if you would necessarily need Maschine Central, but if you do not have enough sounds, $49 for what they're giving you is actually pretty fair, because they give you like over 700 and something sounds, and it's a lot. So Maschine Central is actually pretty cool if you do not have the sounds. But me personally, if you already have a ton of sounds and everything, I don't know if you'll necessarily need it. I think that's why they gave the option to where you can get it by itself if you want to pick it up. So let's dive right into one of the key features, and that is the new stem separation inside of Maschine 3.0. They finally got it, y'all. So it's finally here, and I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to do this. So I actually have a sample in here, and you guys know I try to pick samples that are very hard to separate so you guys can hear if the separation is good. So I got this sound right here. Let's go ahead and play it. All right, sounds pretty cool. Nice little loop. Let's go ahead and split this up into stems. So it's actually very easy to do. All we have to do is click edit right here. And if we go right here to the bottom, we see stems. Now you can do the same thing using the Maschine Mark III and the Complete Control Mark III as well. It shows up on both of the screens on here, so you can actually do it without even going into the actual software. So all we gotta do right here is just click stems right here, and we're gonna do this real time. All right. Okay. All right, and we have it done, and they actually made a new group with all of the stems in it right now. So we have everything right here, so we can go ahead and check out each stem. So let's go ahead and check out each one right now. All right, the drum sounded pretty good. Let's go ahead and see the next one. All right, the bass sounded good. Let's go ahead and check out the other, which is the melody parts. All right, not bad, not bad. Now let's go and listen to the vocal parts. All right, does not sound bad at all. Actually, they actually sounded really good for the type of loop that I use. It really went in there and dug out the stems pretty good. So actually kind of impressed on that. Now, the cool thing about this is we can switch back and forth between groups, because now we have our group with our main sample on here, and then we have the group with the stems on here. Now, even though we have this group with the stems on here, we can now actually go in here and we can actually edit each one of these stems to where we can now take these, we can chop them, and we can sample them and resample them back in, and we can do all of that stuff individually. However, just me, I wish that we could have went back to here and chop this sample up, and then once we chopped it, then we can go ahead and separate it in stems. You can't do that in here. So we have to go into the next group where our stems are at, and then we have to individually chop and manipulate our stems how we want them, and then we can go ahead and play them back into the song. It would have been better if we could have just chopped them up the way we wanted to and then did that. But, hey, it's a start. We're getting there. All right, so moving on, we have the Juno 6V, and it's made by Arteria. And one thing I like about the software and with the new Complete Control Mark III boards is they work hand in hand. So even though I have an Arteria sound on here, it pulls right up on the board as well and gives us a nice little graphic on here. And it just, it's kind of really cool to kind of work with stuff like that. So that's one thing I really like. The boards and everything work seamlessly with the software, and they have an update for that as soon as you go ahead and download this stuff, so everything will really work really good. Now, I got this Juno 6. I'm gonna go ahead and record something in here really quickly, and they actually added some new tools in here, and they added something in here I think that'll be really dope for a lot of people who like to sample and do like sound design as well. So let's go ahead and record some parts in here real quick. All right, so we got this really simple melody that I put in here, and now we finally have tools that we can use while we're in the piano editor right here. So if we right click on here, we now have these new tools right here, and then we finally have a split tool. So we can go right here, and if we want to, we can split these notes right here. And then if we want to join these notes, we can go ahead and join these notes right back. So works really well with the split and join. And of course, they have some other stuff on here with the draw, the mute, and all that good stuff on here as well. Now, let's just say we're working on a project or something like that, and we're running out of CPU, and we just want to bounce this thing down. So to be able to bounce in place, all we simply have to do is go right here to where we have our sound at, right click on it, and then we just press bounce. Now this screen pops up right here, and it's going to ask us, do we want to do this all the time, or we want to just do it one time, or we don't want to do it at all, but I'm just going to do it one time for right now. And then we do that, and then bam, it bounces it to audio. So when I play it back, now we have it in audio. Now, it's not going to save the MIDI information. So you might want to save that first, but you can bounce this to audio. Now, the cool thing about this is we can actually manipulate this. And if we go right here to the sampler, we'll see that we can't really chop or do nothing about that. Well, what you're going to have to do is go right here, go to internal, and then change this to sampler. And then now we can go in here and we can slice this up if we wanted to. So we can go in here now, change this into split. We can do this into 8 parts right here, and we can apply that. And now that we have that in there, as you guys can see right here on the bottom, it already has all of our stuff split up, but you know, we don't never use all that like that. So we can actually take that out. And also what I want to do too is go right here and change this polyphony to 1. So now with the audio that we have bounced, we now chopped it up and now we can resample everything. So we can go through now and just resample some stuff. Now, to be honest with you, this is one of my favorite key features because now we can really manipulate sounds that way and really make things the way we want to do it. But I do want to say this. I really wish we could have a better warp function after we chop the samples. And I'll talk about that at the end of the video as well. Now, they did throw in a few other things as well. You can actually change the tempos of the scenes if you want to do that. And if you did want to get your mastering on, it does come with Ozone elements for free. It's not the full version of Ozone, but it does come with that as well. So it comes with some perks. And also, they did fix a lot of bugs that was in here. So they did fix a lot of stuff that's in here. I got the beta version right now, as you guys can see. I haven't had any crashes. I haven't had anything happen. So they did fix a lot of stuff internally in here to make this a lot more stable, not just with the software, but with the hardware that's connected to it as well. So that's all good and dandy, but let's have a little conversation about these updates. Here we are. We finally have the Maschine 3.0. It is ready to go. And we finally caught up to the times of what's kind of going on. We have stem separation. I think it's about a year late, but we have it. And we have some tools that are cool as well, which I think that should have been done a long time ago. But that's just me personally. Will I say I'm disappointed? Nah, I'm not disappointed. I'm just looking at it like this. We've been waiting on this for a long time, and these are the updates that we got, which I'm happy that we got them, but I think that these updates could have came a long time ago. Now, I don't do any coding. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm pretty sure that you have to really go in there and, of course, fix a lot of bugs, which they did fix a lot of bugs in here. But for what we got, I thought it would have been a little bit more. Now, it's cool to have the sounds and the VSTs and all that stuff like that. That's cool. Appreciate that. But there's a few things that I wish would have happened in this update. Number one thing that I talked about earlier is with the stem separation. With the stem separation, I feel that we should be able to go ahead and chop up our samples first and then be able to separate the stems like that. That way we don't have to go through all the extra steps to try to go through and chopping up all the stems like that. That's just an option. I'm not saying it needs to be done, but it's just an option. Now, another thing that I've talked about is being able to warp samples after we chopped it up, just like how you can do on other devices. Still haven't got there yet. Don't know why we haven't got there yet, but I thought that could be something that they could have added in this newest update. Now, one of the things that I think that they should have added in here is the ability to add in audio directly rather than us having to basically resample it and play it back out. With as good as this software is with the hardware, I think we should have an option to where we can have audio tracks on here to where we can just import audio that way and work with it like that. I think that would have been great. Now, even though I like how they support certain file formats like the MP3, the OGG, and the FLAC files, they need to have it to where we can export MP3 files. Now, if they can do that, this would be good, okay? I think that's one thing that they need to add in there is at least be able to export MP3 files. It's 2024, man. Like people still use MP3 files or export to email people files. Like, that's still a thing, believe it or not. Now, my last little wish that I've talked about this before is about the Maschine Plus. The Maschine Plus does not have a 3.0 update, but whenever it does, if it ever does, I would love to see us be able to use third-party contact sounds with our Maschine Plus. That would be great. Even though I know a lot of people say, well, it might not be able to handle it, at least just give us the option and let us deal with it ourselves. If they are able to make that happen, then we can use some of these third-party sounds so that we can use more sounds on the Maschine Plus rather than just use like the expansions and the sounds that are already on there. And even though some people saying, oh, but you know, the Maschine Plus cannot handle it, I always come back and say, well, have you used the actual sounds that come with the Maschine Plus? You can only use like 2 sometimes. So we might as well be able to use third-party contact sounds inside of the Maschine Plus whenever they decide they want to do an update for the Maschine Plus again, if that ever happens. Now, this is not nothing to be negative with Native Instruments. I like their stuff. I like what they're doing. I like the sounds they're coming out with. I like the plugins that they're coming out with. It's very fun to work on this, even though I wish I had a touchscreen, but you know, can't have everything. But yes, it is very fun working with these products along with the software because they work hand in hand very well. And I think Native Instruments did a great job on that. But hey, this is what we got for right now. They did fix a lot of things under the hood to where it's now more stable and everything. And if you guys want to pick up the Maschine Mark III, you can get it for like $200 less than what it originally is. And if you want to get the Micro, you can get it for like $200 less than what it was before. They're on sale right now, which, you know, I don't know. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe something might be in the works for something new. Who knows? But we'll see. But all in all, it's a good, solid program. Yes, you do have to pay for the upgrade, but they have upgrade options for it. And we're going to see what Native Instruments does for this in the future, because there's a lot of people who are interested in, you know, having some more stuff on here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.